welcome to the Student Inquiry and Engagement BAT session. I don't have a video for the whole entire Zoom session. Things kind of got tricky with technical difficulties, so I'm going to show you the slideshow, which you can find on the in the shared drive with the BAT presentation. So I'm just going to quick walk you through some of the things that you'll find in there. Okay. All right, so the question is what are we doing here? My hope was to have some exposure to a few cool resources to be used as engagement, and to have some sources that your Meridian colleagues have used that have worked, and to actually get some hands-on attempts at trying out some of these on your own. We did have some people who had difficulty because they either didn't have the Chrome applications or they weren't signed into the Meridian accounts because they didn't have their school technology, etc. But for the most part, I think we can get these to go. So the first thing we did was an icebreaker, and we worked on that in Jamboard. Which is it's kind of like an interactive whiteboard, and which is going to be stubborn with me. And in this case, we just, and you can come in and do this now. I've got the link. And in this case, this is just a way for kids or people in general to play a four corners game that we might play on a typical first day of school or first week of school or when have you. And Jamboard is one of the programs that we're going to be going over the rest of the session as well. Okay, so the question was, is inquiry even possible in remote learning? It's definitely not impossible. It also requires a little bit of patience and creativity and work for sure. Here's an inquiry I did in the spring. And in this case, the kids just use Google Slides to share the results of scientific experimentation that they did. Okay. And if you click through, here's another Jamboard in which you can go into inquiry with different prompts. Okay, and then we have some tutorials for Padlet and a place where you can practice on Padlet. And a little stretch break, a little place where you can post a video for Flipgrid, and you can go there and see what some of your colleagues posted as well. Here are some of my favorite educational videos. It's terrible. He's like my favorite. I can't even think of his name. He's just easy to follow along. And finally, I know some of you wanted to talk more about these Bitmoji classrooms and how to create an interactive Bitmoji classroom. And I don't know when we can work on that together, but I think it's fun, and it's also helps to get the kids engaged at any rate. So that was the basics of the BAT session today. And again, a lot of the time was spent just trying to get on to those sites and trying to get them to work and kind of learning through experimentation. And I've also provided some resources for you to explore in more depth if you see something that you feel you could use. I hope you have a great year, and thank you to those of you who worked through the session with me.